already done for us, because some of this is on the calendar. Some of we know who the point person is going to be, and we have an idea of how much it's going to cost. But I think the biggest thing in front of us right now is the Habitat House, which we're looking at the 9th of March through the 17th of May, or April. And I don't know, we just estimated our church's part in the build is going to be about $5,000. How are we doing on that? Do we need donations? What do we need to do there?
We probably have about $1,200 or $1,300 in hand right now.
Okay. So we're going to have to work on that, and we would ask for help from our partners in the generosity ministry. But it's going to happen. It'll happen, and we'll do well. And more than anything, we'll need the time and the talent from our members and the other members of the church, the other congregations. Potato Project, Andy Berry and Danielle are probably going to head that up for us again and do a great job there. We'll probably need a few donations, but again, I don't think that's a big project. There's some money there already. We need to get seed potatoes, and Andy's on top of that. So that's a project that's ongoing, and we'll continue, and start in March sometime and plant those mounds and get them going. Stop Hunger Now is already on the table. 100,000 meals means $25,000, but that's spread out over how many churches?
Well, 80,000 people in Caldwell County.
So, right, exactly. So if we could get 80,000 people to donate a quarter, we'd be in pretty good help. We could pretty much there. It's $20,000. One Day with God, again, is on the calendar. It's going to be July the 8th and 9th. That's another where we need time, talent, and treasury, and it's probably going to be, I think it was about $6,000. Is that about right?
No,
not that much.
It was right around 3,000 last year.
Okay, so we way overestimated. We couldn't remember exactly, but
right around 3. And we funded that last year through two things. That we designated a portion of our linen offering for that, and then we also had a number of classes or groups of people who did sponsorships.
Okay.
The sponsorships are about $175 per kid who participates.
Right, and I know our class did one of the sponsorships. So just opportunities that we want people to know about, and again, we've talked about, and hopefully we'll have some kind of communication needs, so whether it's a flyer or the services once a quarter or something like that, but we're going to do that. Room at the Table is ongoing. That's every fourth Saturday, I believe it is. And Melanie Anderson does a good job of coordinating that and the point person. And I'm sure that they can always use donations there. I don't know how we always fund all that food, but a lot of good things happen there. Backpack Ministry. How do we fund that? We don't know. So that's a good thing that we need to look at, and how we're going to fund that, because we want to continue that.
And again, it's been people, once it was presented to the congregation of the Faith Lift in October, by the time that meeting was over with, you had people who'd walked up and handed checks to Pete Kidder, because Pete was kind of one of our point people to get that started. We have people who donate food every month. They bring it in mostly through the Faith Lift things on Wednesdays. But we've had about $1,900 given that we haven't spent yet for the backpack ministry. So, in theory, we could probably go another 6 or 7 months if we took nothing else in.
And the summer will be there by that time, and then we can refortify.
We're even making plans now to continue it through the summertime.
Oh, great! So that'd be great. We want to support the lamp. Where's Aaron? There's Aaron. And make sure that, or the lump, whichever you want to use, and help the kids, and so that they can go out and show the community what we're doing here, the good things we're doing, through the youth into the community and helping the community out too. We want to help get the kids up to Detroit or wherever that is with the Ohio. I have to put OSU there just because I'm partial there. Through the church in Ohio. And that's going to be July the 11th to the 27th. Let's see if I can read. Spring cleanup. We already have on the calendar again. That's April 16th. had a great suggestion there. Not only can maybe we can donate a little bit of money, but like I have in my home, I have like probably 3 beds of iris that need to be dug up and torn apart, and so I could donate half of those because I don't need to replant all of them because they're congested and I need to get some of the growth out of there. So if you have perennials that you would like to donate, think about the spring cleanup on April the 16th, and maybe we could plant flowers and start a perennial bed or something at the schools. We've got Project Saturdays. Now that was a partially successful mission that we started last year. We built a wheelchair ramp for Elsie. We had firewood that we donated, but we're looking at making that a little bit more efficient. And Judy Sales kind of volunteered to be our point person. So if you know people who have project needs, let Judy know. She'll get a hold of Pete, myself, and Gary Ball, and we'll try to flesh out how we can do those, if we can do them, and get a date put on it and begin to do a few more of those projects on a Saturdays where we can just say to the church the week before in worship that we're going to do a project next Saturday. It's going to be at this person's house, and all you have to do is show up and provide some labor. So we're trying to make that a more effective mission. Back to school supplies. You know, we do that every August so that we can supply the kids, and it's a by donation type thing. But we need to remember that, you know, probably $2,000 to $3,000 is invested there, and we need to capture that so that we can present that at the district conference and everything. It's one of our outreaches. Christian Service Fund. You know, it's something that's there that we forget about. I'm sure you captured it last year, but you know, we need to be aware of that and get that out there to the membership. Community garden. Dick and Sarah Mersch, big into the community garden. It's growing. They're going to need more help. We need time and we need talent, and we need people to go and plant and raise awareness. Operation Christmas Child, which we said wasn't real effective last year. We tried to do that, but there were only about 10 boxes donated. Now, Danielle made a great point. Operation Christmas Child is all the other churches, it's the schools, it's several things that overlap in our lives. So maybe you're doing it through the school and not through the church, but we don't want something maybe to expend a lot of energy where maybe somebody else is doing that and we can donate that way. So we said, yeah, maybe again this year, but maybe not. Maybe we'll do Operation Support the Military Needs, and we'll look at that, and that's going to be, again, something later on in the year, in the October, November time frame that maybe we can do and reach out and help others. Angel Tree. That was Diane's project that we don't know if we captured that last year, and I'm sure she's going to want to do again this year. But, you know, we can help, and we just need to get the word out. And again, a lot of the donations are just on an individual basis, but it's a way to reach out and do a ministry. Fall cleanup, again, we did it last year. We're going to do the spring cleanup this spring, but we've kind of programmed it in there, so we'll have some idea that in October we want to go over to Davenport, Western Oregon, and help beautify the outside of the schools. Christmas dinner. You know, Jamie was all set last year, and we got a big, humongous Christmas Day snow, and there wasn't any way for people to get here. But again, we want to think about that, support that, time, talent, treasure, another project for us. This is a great one. We said, what are we doing right in the October or September time frame that we can do that we haven't done before? And Pete came up with a great idea, and that's paint a house in a day. And that would be kind of one of our maybe Project Saturday missions that we could do, that we could program. And Pete can get the paint donated. We can just say, you know, a week before, maybe 2 weeks before, we need your help. Bring your ladder, bring your paintbrush, come ready to paint. We're going to paint the house over here, and we'll do a great program for somebody and another outreach to the community. And then some things that were just on the agenda that maybe we'll expand and we're thinking about. We want to continue to support the scouting program. We've got the Red Cross shelter that who knows when there's going to be a disaster and we need to come in here and start the generators and support the community there. Maybe a disaster preparedness program that we can look at so that we have whatever we might need for a program someplace else. Maybe we need to go down to Hickory and they have a tremendous fire or an explosion or something. Maybe we need to go, some other place in the area and support other communities' projects to help out in disaster. Robin's Nest, a new program that's up and coming that's going to need a lot of help. They're going to need some painting, so there's opportunities there. And then the last thing we want to do, and maybe you can help me out on this one a little bit more, but explore district missions that are opportunities for adults to participate, like Project Saturday. And I don't know how those come down, but Stop Hunger Now was our district project last year. So whatever we can do there. So that's a lot. It's 23 programs. Last year, if we'd have said 23, I would have said we'll never make it. But when you go back and look, we did about 18 or 20 projects last year. So I think we can do this and comfortably go forward. Anybody have any questions? Anything they'd like to add that they think we left out?
Just clarify a little bit. I think the thinking on the last one about the missions, I think it was just maybe an effort to get more adults involved in mission work. I know we have some people that do that, but really I don't think we've been all that active in doing mission work and just trying to coalesce that. I know we have people that would love to do it, so just raise that awareness level of what the opportunities are. Through the channels that already exist.
Right. Things like there's still tremendous needs for medical personnel in Haiti right now.
Yep.
If we have, I know John's had some conversations with John Palmer, Denise Long's husband, about a Rotary medical team that he just went on into Honduras. And they actually take dentists who go and who serve in the clinic. So, it's about looking at those kind of opportunities and thinking about ways where there are already existing things in place that we can help encourage and support folks from our congregation who go and serve in those places. We do international building teams now literally all over the world. And so getting that out and helping people know this is an opportunity that you could participate in.
And it's kind of like somebody said in our group, it's a Don Weiler thing. Don't tell me I'm on a committee. Don't tell me I have to be the leader. Don't tell me I have to do anything else. Just tell me what I got to do and let me go and do it. And that's kind of what this is intended on being. Some opportunity to just go out there and spend a day or a week working in the trenches and getting the job done.
And then one more clarification, John, on the obviously we spent a fair amount of time talking about faith works because that didn't really work well for us.
Right.
But trying to be, and Judy agreed to sort of be the point person there so we can be more proactive. She's actually going to call people and ask them, what do you need us to do?
Right.
And reach out to them and then try to go at it that way. And that will be more focused on our membership.
And exactly. And that's a great point, Gary. Thanks. And what we need to think about there is there are a lot of people that need things done, and we need to be proactive, like you said, and find that out. There's a widow out there who needs to have Gary and I carry the trunk up out of her basement because she can't get it out of there and she can't go down the steps and she wants to clean it out. Offer to do projects like that, especially if you know that they need them done, because it's so simple for a couple of us guys in the Sunday school class, Andy Berries and Gary and I, or any of the classes, Mark Barber, to do that. And it takes us half an hour, 45 minutes, and then she can spend the rest of the week going through that trunk. Or maybe she just needs a bush cut down so that it's not obstructing the driveway, or it's not interfering with the sidewalk. But when you hear somebody say something like that, think about Judy and Gary and I and Pete, and we'll try to plug those into our program, focusing on our people in need within the church. Thanks.